Ladies and gentlemen, today we have a bunch of leaks to get into. We have some Pokemon news, we have some Switch 2 news, and we have some Switch 2 news. And if any of that sounds exciting, well, then you should stick around. Let's go ahead and get right into this video. You guys are worried about the Switch 2, but I'm already on to the Switch 3. Hold on. Guys, breaking news. We are now getting Switch 4 leaks. That's just what we're doing over here. Anyway, we have some Pokemon leaks and some Switch 2 leaks to get into today. My mouth is still in a lot of pain. I just tried eating a banana like an hour ago and one of my stitches came out, so I don't know if that's good or bad, but I guess we're making progress here. So bear with me if you can. Before we get started, if you could hit a like and subscribe, it would truly mean the world to me, and let's go and get right into this video. So Pokemon is kind of in a weird place right now. Like, yes, the games are still doing incredibly well. Pokemon Scarlet and Violet came out almost 2 years ago, and I think at the time of recording this video, it's like the 5th or 6th best-selling Nintendo Switch game of all time, and I think it's around 25 million copies sold. So telling you that, you would say, oh man, that game must be quality. And, well, bad quality is still quality, right, I guess, but I enjoyed it. Like, I loved it, and that's kind of a weird thing to say, but I thought it was great, and I think there's some really good stuff that they were implementing, but it just needs more polish and more time. Like, the reason why the old Pokemon games are so beloved is because they were full games, they weren't buggy or glitchy, besides like the glitches where you would get like infinite rare candies and stuff. Like, they felt like a real quality game, and over time, it's turned into something completely entirely. Now Pokemon games are just advertisement basically for the cards, which is the definition of printing money. Like, they're selling you pieces of cardboard or paper for money. It's an infinite money glitch. So moving forward with Pokemon, we really need something major. And I really have a good feeling about Pokemon ZA. I think it's going to be something very groundbreaking, and it's obviously going to be a Switch 2 game probably. And we might have a release window for that game. This is coming from PokeBeach. Pokemon TCG may be hinting at a summer or fall 2025 release for Legends ZA. The Pokemon Company has started to announce the TCG products for Q1, Q2 of the next year, and there is nothing related to Pokemon Legends ZA directly, or to the Kalos or Mega Evolutions releasing. It is instead focusing on old fan favorites for new sets, decks, and cards. As the TCG is strongly tied to the release of new games, this is a very strong indication that the game won't come out early next year. And to be honest, I think I agree 100%. I think Pokemon Scarlet and Violet came out in November, which is perfect timing for them. You drop a Pokemon game in November, the holidays hit, you make $1 trillion. It's just business 101, I guess. It just actually works for the Switch 2 as well. Like, the Switch 2 comes out earlier in the year, builds up a little bit, games release, blah, blah, blah. Then we start getting those big releases in the first year of the console. And yeah, it just makes sense to me. I really hope they do something special with this next Pokemon game, because it's hard to defend them. Like, I grew up with the games, so I'm always probably going to play them, but I feel like the magic is lost there. But that perfectly transitions into what we're about to talk about next, which is the Switch 2. 2 times. Switch 2, 2, 2 plus 2 is 4. The Switch 4 leaks were real. So we have a leak over on Twitter coming from Paul Gale Network. And I don't really know who this is, but a lot of other people do. But I like the tweet, so my support is there. A few major third-party developers whom at E3 2017 weren't anticipating Nintendo Switch taking off the way it did, and didn't have AAA title at launch, the show itself, are working on big launch window releases for Nintendo's next system. The Nintendo Switch 2 will have some early, significant ports, parallel releases, and exclusives. I am thrilled at the prospect of what's next. This isn't so much, I guess, a leak, as it is a confirmation of what we all thought. Like, it's very simple to see a lot of people missed out on the initial launch of the Switch. I think Rockstar kind of pulled back, maybe Activision, I'm sure some other stuff that I'm missing. And as long as we get that initial support with the next Nintendo console, I think that's just going to be a huge factor into how this whole generation will play out. The whole conversation is it going to be as strong as a PS4? Or the next generation stuff, is it as strong as a Steam Deck? If this is a handheld console that has native games that are as strong as a Steam Deck or just right there, it's going to be really hard to compete with Nintendo this next generation. Console exclusives will always help consoles, so PlayStation will always have people playing over there. Xbox is trying to put their stuff on other consoles. Nintendo is going to have maybe stuff coming from Xbox. They're working with Sony with this Lego Horizons game. Nintendo is going to be a hard generation to compete with this next generation, if these reports are correct. But now, ladies and gentlemen, let's get into an actual leak coming from the patent website that shows some weird audio technology for what I can only assume is the Switch 2. So I'm recording this video August 8th, and that's the day this was published. This was filed all the way back in September of 2023. And you gotta remember, the Switch 2 was initially supposed to come out like a lot earlier, but it was delayed because of, I guess, problems they were having with launch games or something. So this is a patent for an invention to do with better audio technology. We have an input device communication section, processor, storage section, image, sound output section, speaker, display unit. This looks like the inner workings of like a console or something. And you may ask, well, why do you think this is for the Switch 2? Because it's not what's there, it's what's not there. You guys know I look at these patents all the time. We have 38 pages to look at, right? So let's look at these pages. Well, this is page 2, so what happens when we go to page 3? Image not yet available. Weird. Oh, none of these images are yet available. I don't need to continue to go. This is the whole thing. This never happens unless a company doesn't want this technology or whatever shown off to the public yet. And that's absolutely insane. This is the first time this has ever happened when I've looked up these patents. I made a video yesterday about how I think we're getting a Nintendo Direct in September, and that's not like anything major to say. It's happened for the past, I think, 8 years or something, and we need to kind of wrap up what's going to happen with the Switch. They need to announce some new games and a couple other things, but what about the Switch 2 announcement or the Switch 2 presentation? Well, I think that's coming. I'm not sure if it'll happen in September, but I think in September they will announce a date when it's coming. So if it doesn't happen in September, I could see it happening like a month or two later, and I could see pre-orders going live in December. With seeing this patent right here, and seeing them not want to show off these images yet, I mean, I don't even know what else to say at this point. This is like the most obvious Switch 2 information I think I've ever seen. But ladies and gentlemen, what do you think about all this information? I'd just like to bring the information to you, and your thoughts and opinions are really what matter. So everything we talked about today, we have some Pokemon news, a couple Switch 2 things. Let me know what you're thinking down below. If you could, follow me on Twitter and Instagram. I would really appreciate a follow. I talk to you guys over there every day. All of your support that I've been getting the past couple days, it's been really tough for me. It means more than you could ever know. It doesn't fall on deaf ears, and sometimes you guys truly are saving me, so thank you from the bottom of my heart. And you guys know me. I'll see you soon with a new video. Peace out.